Was God really in 1 Timothy 3:16 before the KJV? The Manuscript, evidence skeptics. Ignore skeptics and non-believers argue that the word God in 1 Timothy 3:16 was a later addition, suggesting that early manuscripts did not include it. This claim is used to deny that Jesus Christ is God manifest in the flesh. But is this true? Or is it another attempt to erase the divine identity of Christ? Let's examine the manuscript evidence and historical proof before the KJV Bible. The verse in question, 1 Timothy 3:16, KJV. And without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifest in the flesh, justified in the Spirit, seen of angels, preached unto the Gentiles, believed on in the world, received up into glory. The debate centers on whether the word God, Greek theos, was originally in the text, or if it was changed from he, os, hos. 1. The Greek manuscript evidence. The Codex Alexandrinus, 5th century AD. One of the oldest complete Greek Bibles contains theos, meaning God, in 1 Timothy chapter 3:16. The original ink and the way the letters are written clearly show theos rather than os. This proves that long before the KJV was translated, Greek manuscripts already testified that God was manifest in the flesh. Codex Ephraemi Rescriptus, 5th century AD. Another early Greek manuscript, though damaged, strongly supports theos in 1 Timothy 3:16. If os, was originally in the text, why do multiple independent manuscripts contain God, theos? The majority of Greek manuscripts, Byzantine text tradition. Over 95% of all Greek manuscripts support God, theos, in 1 Timothy 3:16. The few that have os, are minority texts and later altered copies. If the word God was a corruption, why do the vast majority of early scribes record it as authentic? 2. The early church fathers quoted 1 Timothy 3:16 with God, John Chrysostom, 4th century AD. A highly respected Greek-speaking church father wrote, "Great indeed is the mystery, God was manifested in the flesh." This is clear evidence that Christians before the 5th century recognized theos in 1 Timothy 3:16. Gregory of Nyssa, 4th century AD, he specifically quoted 1 Timothy 3:16 as saying, God was manifested in the flesh. Didymus the Blind, 4th century AD. He also wrote about 1 Timothy 3:16, including theos, God, long before the KJV Bible. If early Christian leaders who spoke Greek quoted the verse with God, then the claim that God was added later is false. 3. The Latin, Syriac, and Gothic translations support God, the Old Latin Bible, 2nd century AD. Before the KJV, Latin manuscripts predating the Vaticanus and Sinaiticus include God in 1 Timothy 3:16. These texts were used centuries before any English Bible was written. The Peshitta, Syriac translation, 2nd century AD. The ancient Syriac Bible, used by early Christians in the East, clearly includes God in the passage. The Gothic Bible, 4th century AD. Another early translation of the Bible, translated before the KJV, preserves the reading of God manifest in the flesh. Illustration. The forged signature test. Imagine two copies of a famous handwritten letter. One copy says, Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States. The second copy has, he was the 16th President of the United States. Now, skeptics claim that the word Abraham Lincoln was added later. But if 95% of all handwritten copies have Abraham Lincoln, wouldn't that be strong evidence that it was original? This is exactly what happens with 1 Timothy 3:16. The overwhelming majority of early Greek, Latin, Syriac, and Gothic manuscripts have God, theos. So if skeptics claim the word God was added, then let them explain. Why did so many independent sources contain God long before the KJV? Why did early church fathers quote it before any medieval copying errors? Why do multiple ancient languages preserve the reading? The burden of proof is on them, not on those who uphold what the earliest manuscripts testify to. Conclusion: the truth remains. 1 Timothy 3:16 was not altered in favor of Jesus' divinity. The manuscript evidence proves that God was manifest in the flesh, was written long before the KJV Bible. If skeptics claim otherwise, they must answer. Why do the oldest manuscripts, including Codex Alexandrinus, contain God? Why did Greek-speaking church fathers like John Chrysostom quote it with God? Why do ancient translations like the Latin Bible, Syriac Peshitta, and Gothic Bible support it? If Jesus is not God, then why does every major piece of manuscript evidence before the KJV declare him as God manifest in the flesh? If skeptics cannot answer this, then they must face the truth. Jesus Christ is God, revealed in human flesh.